Good morning, everybody. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I shall rejoice and I shall be glad in it. It is an awesome day because it is Resurrection Day. He is risen, He is alive. The angel said, sitting on the stone, He is not here. He is risen, just like He said. He told you He was going to be crucified and be in the ground 3 days and He would rise again. And He did exactly what He said. He was crucified for horrific death, but He did rise again and He lives forevermore. So, our topic today is He is alive, but you are alive, but are you living? But are you really living? So in John 10 and 10, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I've come that they might have life and they might have it more abundantly. And then, of course, part two is that, of course, he's alive. That's part one. He is not here, for he has risen, as he said, Matthew 28 and 6. So, are you living? With so much going on in the world today, and if you really looked at it really seriously and really with your natural eyes, not your spiritual eyes, but if you looked at the world with just your natural eyes, you would get in the bed and cover your head and not come out. Excuse me, because there's so much going on in the world, and you just be like, okay, I'm not going to try nothing. I'm not going to do nothing. The fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of doing and it not work out, the fear of the world shutting down, the fear of all of that. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But he said, I've come that they might have life and life more abundantly. Scripture also told us that we were to occupy until he comes. So for us to stop and be the frozen chosen and not keep moving in ministry and not keep moving in business and not keep moving, spreading the gospel, and us not keep moving, doing what he called us to do is a disservice and disrespectful. Everything that happened of that horrific cross at the crucifixion, all the everything before, and then the cross, and then the veil and the sacrifice. So we're saying, you can't do it when everything has been paid in full for you. There's nothing like being at an event or being at a hotel or being a part of a committee and everything's paid for. It is nothing like it. Everything is carte blanche. You just walk up to the desk. Hi, Miss Royston. Your room is available. Hello. Oh, no. Where do you want to sit? You're seated at table 2. And you sit down and then you get up, put your napkin down and get up and walk out because everything's been paid for. It's been paid in full. There is nothing like it. It is an enjoyable, it is a relaxing experience. Now, it still doesn't mean I don't have any effort to put into it. I still have to show up. I still have to get in the seat. I still have to perform. There's still a plan for the and purpose for my being there. But as far as having to pay for it at that particular time, I don't owe anything. I owe my performance. I owe my showing up. I owe giving my best, but I owe nothing because Jesus paid it all. Now, I do have bills, I do have household expenses, but for this particular purpose right here, he took care of it. Eternity is ours. We do not have to worry about that. If we believe in Jesus and have given our lives to him, accepted him as our savior and filled with his spirit, boom, we good. It's been paid for. But there's something that we still have to do. If we're still here and we're still alive, our assignment is not over. It's not over until he comes to get us either through the ground or up in the sky in the rapture. We still got work to do. We still got stuff to get accomplished. Yes, we have to do it with caution. Yes, we have to seek him in everything we do. Yes, we have to use wisdom. Yes, we have to be good stewards of what he's placed in our hands. But other than that, we got work to do. We got stuff to get accomplished. We got stuff, assignments that he has assigned each of us to. So, with that assignment comes the plan. For living the life that you were designed to live, there's a plan for it. Jeremiah 29, he already told us in the word, I have a plan I know the plan. I have the plan. But you got to seek him to get the plan. You can know what you'd like and you know what you want to do. And believe you me, I've had plenty of ideas because I'm quite idea driven and I'm a creative by nature. But God is still the creator. He's still taking care of my life. He's still directing me and guiding me. Because why? I'm yielded to him. I'm his servant. He's my boss. And then secondly, I owe him my everything. He rose. He took the beatings for me. He sacrificed the pure and perfect lamb for me and paid the price. It's just like anything else. If you were to work for a company or you should give him your best too. But if you were to work for an organization and you're dedicated to them and they say, we got all the expenses paid, you don't have to do nothing, just show up and be you. Oh man. And show up and be yourself. Oh yeah. But God has the plan. And he has the plan that meets with your performance. So this is usually where we get a little off because we want to be like somebody else or we want to perform like somebody else. But our performance is based on our gifts, talents, and abilities. And we may do the same thing. Other people may do the same thing we do. But our performance should be based on God's plan for our life and God's giftings, talents, and abilities. Our performance should be based on what he told us and what he gave us. And as much as we admire others and secretly have a little jealousy of what other people are doing, we got to do what we got to do our way, the way he gave us to do it, the way he directed us to do it. And sometimes it's not going to be popular. Sometimes it's not going to be agreeable. But you have to turn to your sister and turn to your brother and say, I'm your sister. I'm your brother. I love you. I want us both to win. I'm not in competition with you. I want us both to win. And if I can help you, fine. If you can help me, fine. Do we need a contract? Do we need an agreement? Whatever that is. But I want us all to win. There's enough for all of us to eat. There's enough. Performance, what he called me to do, what he called you to do. I'm going to be rooting you on. I got my cheerleading outfit, my pom-poms rooting you on, and I want you to root me on over there. And I need your love. I need your support. And I need your prayers. Now, support looks different in other ways. We can't get support like we want it all the time. But if you're praying for me, I'm good. I don't necessarily, have to need support in a lot of different ways, but just love me and support me. And if you pray, I'm good. If you pray my strength, I'm good. If you pray for me to keep going and keep hearing from God and God bring me the right people in my life, that's what I'm doing over here. I'm praying that he bring you and you walk in the purpose that he has for you. Because number 3, he's giving you provision. He's giving you the plan. He's giving you the performance, meaning the gifts, talents, and ability. He's giving you what he wants you to perform, and then he's going to give you the provision for it. He is still, no matter what it looks like, he's still Jehovah Jireh, our provider. He still is. And some of that provision is going to be like manna, like the children of Israel. Who knew? And of course, we all complain and we mumble, oh, I want to eat something different. Oh, we had chicken last night. Oh, I want steak tomorrow. But the children of Israel did the same thing, but they did not have to do it. Just stand up, walk outside the tent, and there was the hot bread for them every day. Now, after so long, they got tired of it. But can you imagine having that provision every time you needed it? Every day, new mercies. Every day, new grace. Every day, food on your table. God is able. Come on, I can think of a million songs that do that. But he still is the provision. And sometimes it's one step at a time, one moment at a time. So the living for you looks different. It looks like, oh, they got an over and abundance, but you don't know how long they was without. You don't know how long they sacrificed. You don't know how long it was scarcity. You're alive, but are you living? Based on God's provision for you, provision that you can handle. If you can't handle $1, is he going to be able to give you 10? And you manage 10, and then he give you 100, and then you manage 100, then he'll give you 1,000 or 10,000. You want to go from $1 to a millionaire, but can you handle 1? Can you handle 10? Can you handle 100? Provision on your level, provision for what you need, provision for your purpose. And that's next. the purpose which he gave you, the purpose which he designed you to be. Not what your sister is, not where your brother is, not where the people down the street is, not where the people over in another country are, where you are, your purpose. Because when we pull a fork out of the drawer, it can be used for a multiplicity of purposes. But are you walking in the purpose he designed for you? Are you living out Big Mama's purpose? Are you living out what Mama said, what Daddy said, not what God designed for you? And that's a tough, woo, that's hard. That's tough. That's tough. You know, I remember a transparent moment. I remember when God started directing me back in 2000 into another direction. That's been 23 years ago. And it was hard. There was a lot of tears shed. There was a lot of confused faces. It was a lot of murmuring. There's a lot of, I don't know, girl. I don't know. Ooh, maybe, maybe. But I was glad I listened to God because that's what I had to have. And this season we're in right now, we got to have God's ear. We got to have God's voice. We got to have the Holy Spirit down in us, telling us, leading us, guiding us, giving us direction. We got to have the word down in us so that we walk in the purpose that he has for us. Because there's a lot of distractions and a lot of directions we can go. And you got to make sure that you're walking in the purpose that he designed for you. Otherwise, you can be all over the place and get nothing done. And at the end, be totally empty. There'll be a big old hole in you because you know, and God's eternal. Remember, this is one of my famous sayings that I've been saying it a lot lately. Remember, God's eternal. He can wait you out. So while you going your own way and doing your own thing and following after somebody else's agenda or some agenda you made up on your own, you could be wasting a lot of time and energy. At the end of the day, the safest place is still in the will of God and the purpose and the plan that he has for your life. That's still the safest place. I don't care what nobody else says. I don't care how you reject it. I say that 23 years later, but I don't care how you reject it. I don't care how many people talk about you behind your back, in front of your face, or to you, whatever. The safest place for you is still living in his perfect plan and will for your life. And no matter how emotionally you feel and how upset you feel, he will give you power. He put the power down in you, but he will give you the power to keep moving. He will give you strength, the courage, the wisdom to keep moving forward in spite of what they said and what they did and what they thought. And, you know, and when my friends who are really concerned ask me about, okay, all right, well, how'd you go from here to here? I said, listen, when I prayed, he said the same thing when I woke up in the morning. He said the same thing when I woke up, when I went to bed at night. Now, to get this voice inside my spirit, inside my head to stop, I had to walk and do what he said. And if I'm walking the wrong direction, you pray for me, and then maybe he'll say something different, and I'll hear something different. But otherwise, I have peace and sleep at night. I may not be happy all the time, but I have joy in knowing that I'm in the place where he's designed for me to be. That's what real living is. Living out the purpose that he designed for you. No matter what anybody else says, nobody or what anybody else thinks, as long as you're in God's will. It's like having the GPS. And when you're riding along, and believe you me, I've been in cars for hours. 5 hours used to be sidebar. So 5 hours used to be my limit. But now I've been riding with Brian Royston. We go 8 hours. We got 8 hours to head out this week. 8 hours is the first leg of this trip. And I'm like, ugh, but I just did 8 hours last week. And we knocked it down. Shh, don't tell the police, but we knocked it down about 7 hours and a half. Because we looking both ways and putting on the gas, child. Especially when you in the wide open Midwest farmland spaces, baby. We be looking both ways and moving. But he gives us the power and strength to keep going. And when the GPS is not talking, we know we on the right road. But when it starts rerouting, hold on, you done got off the road. Hold on, you got to be rerouted. Hold on, wait a minute. Woo, you get on the wrong road, or you feel like, okay, we need to stop here and go to the bathroom real fast, or stretch our legs, or get a sandwich. It freaks out. Like, wait a minute, you off the plan? I mean, you off the path? Hold on, I gotta redirect you. It really. The GPS goes crazy. But when you're on the path, it ain't talking. It's not to say nothing. Just this is how many miles you got to go. Ooh, this is how fast you're going. This is when you're going to arrive at your destination. But God doesn't always do that. He doesn't tell you this is exactly when you're going to arrive at your destination. Nope. He don't talk. Just keep going. He's not saying, wait a minute. Keep going. You're on the right road. You're on the right track. Because he has the plan. And if you're following his plan, he's going to help you to form to your optimal. Even when you're weak, he says, wait a minute, my strength is made perfect, even in your weakness. Even if I tell you to do something you're a little nervous about, you're a little shy doing, you're a little scared, I got you. Because I'm your provision. I'm your source. I'm not only your source, I'm your resource. And I'm bringing resources to you. I'm bringing people to you. And then I know the purpose that I have. And I know the reason why you had to go through that and that and that and that and that step and that step and that step. And all them steps to get where? Baby. And I'm going to give you power. Because he told us, greater works than these shall you do when I go to my Father. And you looking like, what? Jesus did all that. That's what he said. I'm going to tell you what he said. Greater works than these shall you do when I go to my Father. Because greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I have to remind myself that often. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. Greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. I hope that helps you. I hope that you say, wait a minute. I have been, not living the abundant life that God intended for me to have. Now, most people, when you say about abundant, and this part 2 of my clothes, abundant, you thinking about money, cars, and whatever. But that doesn't always necessarily mean that riches. It could mean ministry. It could mean opportunity. It could mean ministry to other people. It could be helping the homeless. It could be outreach. It could be a multiplicity of things. It could be a place in the industry that you need to be, a part of a position or a job that you need to influence one person. My favorite job, I only got to stay 1 year. And I was like, no, I had fulfilled the purpose he had. And he says, now it's time to go home. I cried all the way back to 71 South. Cincinnati was my favorite job. That Fortune 550, 25 company, I loved it. I enjoyed it. But God said, your purpose, your assignment is done. Get out. I cried all the way back down 71, but I'm glad I did. Over time, after I got over it and stopped pouting like a 4-year-old and realized the purpose, realized where he was taking me, I was like, okay. And realized, even if he hadn't told me, even if I hadn't realized it, there's some things that happen in my life I'm still confused about. But I'm living my best life because I'm walking in my purpose. I have God's provision of wisdom and knowledge more than anything else. I'm walking out the steps and he gives me the plan. When I walk out that step, when I complete that assignment, he gives me the next plan. I hope that helps you. I hope that blesses you so that you live your abundant life. And speaking of abundant life and living your best life, coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in about 11 minutes, live your best life on envision-radio.com, where praise meets talk. You can always listen on the website, envision-radio.com, radio.net, Radio Garden, and of course, download the free Android app, tuner.co, Alexa, Get Me, Roku, Media, MyTuner Radio, Audacity, or wherever podcasts are heard. Be sure and listen in. Especially today, there is a special Easter message of faith that has already aired at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's 3 more coming up, 12 noon, 3 p.m., and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy the Easter message of hope with some phenomenal ministers and pastors that are going to speak life into you and carry you through this entire day. Then coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for Laughs, Music, and More. I'm sorry, I think it's just 3 o'clock and 6 p.m. that we have left this morning. But at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Spike Davis and Friends show. Tune in for Laughs, Music, and More. And then Tuesday, the Book Business Boss show, Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right there on where? Envision-radio.com. And the replays are the Book Business Boss podcast.com. So I have several announcements. I'm super excited that I'm honored and grateful to be a finalist along with 6 other people from authors from BK Royston Publishing, which are finalists of the Black Authors Matter TV Awards. And so you can now, voting is open. Voting is open. Yay! April 10th, there is the link. I'll actually post the link again on my Facebook page, and I'll send it out this week to my email list too as well, and it'll be shared everywhere. But the voting for the actual winners will be April 10th through April 28th. And then the Black Authors Matter TV Award Show will be live streamed on Tuesday, May 16th. The award show will be aired live on Tuesday, May 16th. So vote. There's some phenomenal authors out there, and we're super excited about that. I was like, wow. That was an awesome experience. And we thank Black Authors Matter TV, Ms. Gwen Richardson, and her co-host, Dr. Rhonda Lawson. So super excited about that. Now, coming up during this week, no, I got one more week. Coming up April 15th, I'll be at Richmond, Virginia at the African American Book Festival. And then April 17th through the 21st, I'll be at MLK and Star Elementaries with the BK Royston Children's Book Fair. So if you're in the Seattle area, that's where I'll be. And then while I'm there in the Great Northwest, why not go to Alaska? Of course. I'll be speaking and singing at the Alaska Yukon District Council in Anchorage, Alaska, with the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. Super excited about that. I'm going back to my home organization into an area that I've never been. So I've never been to the state of Alaska. So that's should be a great thing. I'm going back to Seattle, Washington. So I'm super excited to be with my family, the Davises, in the Seattle, Washington area and Alaska. So pray my strength, that my voice holds up, that my body holds up, all that good stuff. And for safe travels for myself and Mr. Royston. So super excited about all of that. Now, if you want to have a conversation with me in regards to publishing, go to talkwithroyston.com and schedule an appointment. Remember, I'm on Eastern Standard Time, and I'll be on some different time zones, but I definitely will continue to take calls and be meeting with people in regards to publishing their books as well. So got a lot going on. I'll have more, as I say, more church announcements coming up in May, but I trust that you continue to live the abundant life that God intended for you to have. You all be blessed, and let's see who's in the comments. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Carter. Happy Easter to you. Happy Resurrection Day. Hey, Miss Betty. Miss Good Morning, Overseer Ross Jones. And know the reason for the celebration. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Enjoy your journey. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I will. You all be blessed and continuing to move forward and living the best life that God intended for you to have. I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses, where we help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. Be blessed. Bye-bye.